Hi everyone and welcome to Club Preview here at Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. We are live on YouTube tonight, so I see there's a few guys in the comments already, so join in, ask a couple of questions, we'll do our best to answer some of them. But we have, I was going to say we've got a full lineup, we're missing Ryan tonight, he's on taxi duty tonight, so we have Scott Carney first of all. How are we today?
Yes, I am good, mate. A wee break for the pod, a wee break from Rangers, but it's felt like a very long week, I'm not going to lie. Don't know if that's work related or not, but it's good to be back podding. It's good to have Rangers back. And yes, I'm just going to sit with a smile the whole way through this so I don't get shouted at. It's good to be here.
Yeah, we're bringing the positivity to the podcast as always. It's Scott Gemmell coming from Scotland, reaching Group A or something in the Nations League, whatever it is.
God,
Scotia, how are we?
Yes, I'm good. I've had
after Scotland.
Yeah, I've had a good wee international break myself, so no, it's geed me right up for the month of October ahead that we've got, because it'll be hectic. But Carney was mentioning it there. It's a bit strange, even going a week between podcasts seems like years and years. It's always a wee bit of a weird feeling when you come up to it. But looking forward to tonight, guys.
Yeah, I mean, we're used to doing two shows like this and also an aftermatch reaction. You're probably used to doing it 3 pods a week. So, yeah, it's been a bit, yeah. I mean, I know you're in international football, Scotia, but it's not mine and Carney's back at all, to be polite. But anyway, moving on to international football. Literally just an hour ago, the Aberdeen...
Sorry, Ali, just quickly on the international, just so everybody knows, I'm that literally interested in international football. I asked Scott to explain to me what Scotland had actually achieved, because I was going, what, have we won something? what happens now? No, you've not won anything. You're guaranteed that, man, the mind absolutely boggles. But sorry, I just thought it's like that I honestly have got no idea about how the Nation Leagues works at all.
Yeah, no, they're guaranteed a playoff into the Euros if they make an arse of the group stage, and they'll be in pot 2. They'll be in pot 2 or something. So, moving on. We're not here to talk.
Move on.
Right. No, like I was saying, an hour before we came on the podcast, the Aberdeen game that we were meant to play the weekend of the Queen's funeral has now been confirmed. It is Tuesday, the 20th of December, 8 p.m. live in Sky. So we're up to Pittodrie on the Tuesday, and then Christmas Eve we're up to Dingwall. So for the boys that travel week in, week out, that's a fair journey just before Christmas. So that has been confirmed. So, but yeah, we'll get into the new kit launch straight away. Rangers announced yesterday they were releasing the 4th kit, which we seen about 4 months ago. Ryan's seen it in Turkey, so we all knew it was coming. They're not stupid, Rangers. They release it on payday when most people get paid. But Carney, the thing that we all had a chuckle in the group chat today was the hashtag they lined was break the lines, which I thought, I mean, when you go on Twitter today and you see some folks' reactions, somebody actually come out and went, it's good that we've actually got something that breaks the lines and it's a top, not a football player, because we've got nobody that breaks the lines. What was your thought on the top and the hashtag as well?
The hashtag's a wee bit. I don't know if there's tongue in cheek in there, mate. To be honest, I'm not sure. Because the infamous horseshoe that we play, the horseshoe football, then it's not really about breaking the lines, is it? But no, I mean, I don't know why they do the whole kind of launch thing and bring it all up. And look, I get people's frustration as well with the 4 kit thing. I do. I get it, but it's agreed in the contract. Castor have to release 4 kits. It's all part of their contract with the merchandise and what they can do and what they're allowed to do. But again, why put a big build up on it when we've all seen it about 4 months ago? The top itself, I won't be buying it, and that's not because of the reasons that people can accuse the club of fleecing the fans or whatever. I mean, you don't need to buy it, so that's always my argument back to it, is that you don't have to buy it. The top's not very nice. I'm not going to lie, I don't like it. We've done a few black tops before that I've really thought were quite smart, and maybe with just the blue pin striped on it, I would have got it, but it's the wee kind of ready one that's on it that kind of puts me off it. I don't particularly like it. I mean, some people will. It's going to be one of the top, same as the kind of lilac purpley strip that we had last season. A lot of people like that. For me, no, it was nowhere near the one that I always imagine Brian Laudrup wearing. It was nowhere near that for me. I didn't think it was very nice at all. But this one, the club are not stupid, man. They're not stupid. After everything that we've kind of had released over the past wee while from board members, which we'll probably come on to. Yeah, all of a sudden there's a new kit coming out just before the football comes back. Break the lines. Yeah, it did make me laugh. I'm not going to lie. It did make me laugh. I thought, that's not. I have to believe that it's tongue in cheek, mate. I've got to, because it's like, do you not talk to each other? Does nobody like have a conversation with each other about how we're going to release it? But no, it itself not for me. It will not be one that I will buy. But it's going to be one of the ones, mate. It'll be Marmite, isn't it? Marmite.
Yeah, I mean, Scotia. I mean, we were only fined 200 odd grand literally last week about fixing prices and all that, and we bring the top out. We bring it in payday. With obviously, I've said the hashtag. Break the lines as well. What's your thoughts on it? I mean, Castore, I think Castore have got a year left after this season. I don't know what your thoughts, Scotia, but I think we need to move on from Castore next season if we can, when it's up.
I mean, the top itself and stuff, and they don't really grab my attention. They don't say, oh, sorry. They don't grab my attention. It doesn't go, oh, that's an absolutely stunning top. Like Carney, I do like a black top. In fact, one of my favourite all-time Rangers top was the black top from the 2010-2011 season. That may be factored into the fact that we won the league at Kilmarnock wearing that top, probably.
Yes.
It was still an absolutely belter of a top, really smart-looking top, I thought. So I'll need to wait until I see it in the flesh, because even this year's away top, I didn't like it at first when I'd seen it in the promos, and it's grown on me somewhat. Still not a massive fan of it, but do we really need a fourth kit? I like Carney says, you don't need to go and buy it if you don't want to, but I remember when third kits were a big thing and there was a new different thing. But the fourth kit thing just seems to be taking it a wee bit too far. I purposefully wore this top this evening on the pod. It's the fourth kit we had a couple of seasons back that we get beat against St Mirren in
That's a bad top, Scotia.
Yeah,
don't wear that tomorrow.
Top. So that's no, I won't. That's the problem with these tops. So you wear them once and they give you this bad omen and no one wants to see them again. I mean, last season we had 5 tops out, if you include the 150th anniversary and the Legends tops. So there's 5 kits there. It seems that Rangers are pumping out an awful lot of tops, but I don't think they really need to. As I say, wait and see what it looks like in the flesh. Will I buy it? Need to wait and see. But yeah, it is what it is, really. You don't need to buy it if you don't want to, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. You're not forced to buy the top, but it's it just feels constant with Rangers at the moment. They just want money all the time, and they know what they're doing. It's payday to day. Folk will buy it, but it is what it is. But moving on.
Just quickly before you do move on, Paul did ask a question. Can anybody tell me why the stars were dropped from the strip? We've been over this before. I much prefer it without the stars.
The stars were for us winning our 50th league title. That's what it was.
Yeah, so I think the decision was just made to drop it. I much prefer it.
Yeah, I think with the stars, you wear it the season after you've won that 10th title kind of thing, or obviously 50th, but the 10th number in it, and then maybe the season after. Because I think if you look at it, McGregor's probably the only player in that team that was even floating about the squad when we won the 50th league title. So yeah, I think they've got it like somewhere in the back collar or something like that. But
yeah, it's on the back. I think yeah. No, moving on. Scotia, I'll stay with you. Obviously, they've all been out. John Bennett's been out. Stuart Roberts has been out. And the next one that's been wheeled out is Bisgrove. He was with David Edgar from Heart and Hand. I thought he asked decent questions, David Edgar. He did say at the beginning of it, and he only had 30 minutes with him, so we couldn't ask that much, to be honest. But he asked all the questions we wanted to ask Bisgrove, I would think. But again, he's kind of danced around it without really giving us concrete answers. And you can break it right down. I mean, some of the stuff he was going on about The catering, he agrees, isn't great. Investment, he was going on about Emerson House, etc., etc. This kind of same thing John Bennett was going on about. What did you take from that interview? And did you think, again, it was just another tick box for him to come out to try and appease the fans?
I actually preferred this interview an awful lot more because, like I said in the pod last week, these were the kind of questions that were my main bugbears. My main thoughts were like the my jars, the food, the website. What else did they mention? The stuff that happens with away games and things like that in terms of ticketing, which Ryan had mentioned last week. He wasn't sure how it was structured, and that was kind of confirmed that for your domestic away games, that is kind of about the majority goes to gold, then a wee bit to silver, then the least to bronze. But obviously, top class games like your Liverpools, your Celtic, it will be a top down method, which that's what I'm okay with. But I thought in terms of the interview from Bisgrove himself earlier in the week, it was an awful lot better than the ones that came out from Bennett and Robertson. I think he answered a wee bit more questions. Obviously, he goes on these shows and you can't completely grill into him, I don't think. And if people were expecting that, then it's not going to happen. It's a fairly decent interview. There was a really good breakdown in the revenue that Rangers make from
figures about
marketing and stuff, which didn't include ticketing, and the revenue. I think he said something up near the £30 million mark for Rangers through things like My Jers this season and other bits and pieces. He also had an interview, I don't know if you've seen it, with the Rangers Review that was out today. And that was on their site as well. And basically, I've only had a really quick scan of it, but he went into a wee bit more detail about the Champions League ticketing pricing, and he agreed that the clubs probably went in there with too high a price, and from the feedback that they've got, they realised that they've went in a wee bit too high certainly went in too high for that now. And he also gave us quite an extensive update on Edmondson House as well, that looks as if it should be open for the 2nd of January.
Yeah, I mean, he did say in the Champions League ticketing pricing that they wanted to let us be able to stagger the payments to pay them in instalments, but the facilities aren't there to do that. And they said they regret that. But, I mean, Scott, you're saying he was doing a review with Rangers Review, and he's saying they think the ticket price is too high. It's too late. They've taken our money, Rangers. It's all right saying it now. We think we got made an arse of that, but Carney, what was your thoughts on it? I mean, taking what Scotia just said there from him, that's too little, too late. Our money's in Rangers Bank now.
The staggered payment thing, that was the kind of biggest. That didn't annoy me. I just thought that's just not the case, because if the club really wanted to have that in place, they could have it in place. It's no difficult. Take it from a guy that's tried to punt merch and stuff like that. You can look into all sorts of different kind of things. You can do it. It can happen. So that doesn't float with me. That one, I'm like, no, that doesn't float at all. I'm happy that he has come out and said that it's on the high side. I think that, okay, you're acknowledging something, but again, double-edged sword, because they've already took the money. The only thing that you have to hope is that they learn from it. Now, obviously, Rangers boards don't tend to learn from things. Again, try not to be too negative, Scott. Try not to be too negative. But at the end of the day, he's got to try and clear as much up as he possibly can, because it's become glaringly obvious to the whole board that they've been quiet for too long, and now they have to try and somehow claw it back. I think I said to you in the group chat, it has a wee bit of a whiff of, we know we've made a mess of this here. We need to quickly try and recover as much ground as we possibly can. And it kind of has a wee bit of a whiff of that to me. I agree that Bisgroves was the best out of all of them. I think he's clearly a very, very intelligent man. I don't think there's any doubt about that. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he knows exactly what to say and when to say it. So, yeah, I mean, we have to wait and see. We have heard things like this before, and we can only hope that they learn from it. I think, convenient or not, that he wasn't allowed to speak about Australia or speak about the fiasco with the CGM thing. Is it CGM? Is that what you call it? CTM.
Yeah, travel company. Yeah.
Yeah, so the travel company. So yeah, I'm legal terms and all that. I mean, again, how much is there in that? I'm not 100% sure. They're the kind of major talking points. But the Majors thing as well. Again, it just kind of confirmed to me, why do I pay for this? What's the point? Generally, what is the point? I don't really fully understand it. I think they've got a lot of work to do. I am not in agreement, and I might get slated for this, I don't know, but I've paid my Champions League home package. Why should I be completely ruled out of getting a Champions League away ticket just because I can't always go to away games? I don't think that's fair. And that's me being selfish. I get that. That is me being selfish, but that's my personal opinion on it. I didn't like that. I was like, no, we'll only go to gold. Why should it only go to gold? I don't think that's very fair. Again, that's because I've not got a ticket for Liverpool. So yeah, that's a wee bit of sour grapes for me. I'm not going to lie, but that was the only thing that I thought. Well, it should be the same across the board from top to bottom. So yeah, but I mean, you've got to give him kudos to a certain extent for putting himself out there. He's the one that's offered to go on podcasts. He was on Heart and Hand. He's obviously, Scotia's just said he was on Rangers Review. That's a good thing. That is a good thing. And I thought David Edgar did ask the right questions. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was good. And he's obviously been told that he'd only had half an hour with him. So he's trying to cram as much in as he possibly could. The biggest one, and somebody mentioned in the comments, sorry, I've lost it because too many have come in since. The transfer kind of structure that we work on clearly isn't working, or clearly it hasn't worked. We've sold players, but we've made very little investment in the right areas, in my opinion. So I think there's still work to be done there. But look, yeah, I took it. It didn't rub me up the wrong way as much as Bennett's did. Put it that way.
Yeah, he gave us I thought he gave us more facts than John Bennett. John Bennett kind of danced around it without really giving us kind of figures and things. I thought Bisgrove, like Scotia says, he did talk a lot of figures. At one point, he was banging figures off to Edgar. I was like, Christ, a lot of figures he's saying there. Even the Majors, to be honest, 51,000 people have signed up to Majors. I mean, that's phenomenal, to be honest. And he's saying that's worth about 2 million to Rangers. So I mean, the Majors is a completely separate. I mean, we could have a podcast on our own about Majors. I mean, there's different avenues to go down with it, but he kind of said, Bisgrove, it is what it is at the moment. And if you're in gold at the moment, then you're holding all the ace cards, because all those other guys, even me and Scotia High and Silver, are going to struggle to get anything, because the guys in gold have got everything, and they're going to stay in gold because they're going to get their Majors points for getting away tickets, etc. So it's, how do you get into that gold? But moving on from the Bisgrove interview. Yes.
Before you do move on, just something that Carney had mentioned there a bit in terms of the structure of the payments coming out. Obviously, like you say, it is too late now, but in the Rangers Review today did say that we've went out to tender for new ticketing partners for the website.
And new website, yeah.
Kind of went off.
Yeah, he said he's talking to a couple of folk, yeah.
Again, it's a bit late, isn't it? Like, you've known this from the day you took over. Why has it took you this long to get to here? Do you know what I mean? Like,
the website's been terrible for years. This isn't a thing that's happened overnight. So yeah, moving on from that to another positive story that's broke this week is the new Sky deal. The SPFL have agreed. It's a 4-year extension to 2029. It's worth £150 million deal. It's worth, I think, a couple of extra £1 million a year from the deal at the moment. Sky can show up to 60 SPFL matches from 24-25 season. They need to show a minimum of 42. No chance they're going to be showing 60 games. They're going to show the Women's League as well. Premiership clubs can also sell up to 5 pay-per-view games, home games. Livingston, we were the only club that kind of have said, no, let's hold on a wee minute, maybe put this to tender and let's hold our horses. Livingston were in our camp. Martindale came out. He was asked this week about it because they changed Martindale, and he was asked about the deal, and he went, it was an okay deal, basically. But they've obviously just agreed that Livingston, because it's money in for them. It's Scotia, I'll come to you. what's your thoughts on this deal? Obviously, they've changed the rules to push it through. The big one for me is why is Celtic going along with this deal? Because they have, to me, they're in the same boat as us. Have they just purely done it to say, get up, we're not going with you?
Despite, yeah, I mean, it's it does feel like that a wee bit, because it's a very, very poor deal, no matter what way you look at it or what way Doncaster can come out and try and spin it. The only good thing I would say about it, right, and this is the one positive thing I'm going to say about it, is that there's going to be more SWPL games getting shown live in the telly. Now, obviously, we're not hugely into our women's football, but there are people that are definitely more into it. So that's a big step forward in terms of getting at least 5 of them shown a season. Because I think at the moment, the only time I've ever seen them on the telly has been BBC Scotland or BBC Alpha, and it's usually been the Old Firm games. But this will give a chance for sort of some of the other clubs there. So that's good in that respect. But in terms for the kind of top level football for men's Premiership division in Scotland, it's a poor deal. It seems like the clubs have been stung in the past. I mean, you remember back when we actually broke the SPL, but actually broke away from the SFL to make the Premiership back in the early 2000s, and Setanta deal was a nightmare for all these clubs trying to keep up with Rangers and Celtic. That blew up, and I think they've got scar tissue from that. They've come into it not really given any consideration to, is it any better? Because I don't think it is. Like you mentioned there, they're meant to show 42 league games a season now as a minimum. In 2020-21, they showed 41 games out of the 48 live on Sky. The season after, they showed, I think it was either 39 or 40 games live out of the 48. And it was always the Rangers and Celtic games that were getting shown, occasionally your Dundee derbies or your Edinburgh derbies, games like that. I don't see how they're going to even fit 48 games in a season. Never mind 60. They're never going to fit 60. And I was speaking to my dad about this in the pub the other night. It's like, where are they going to play? When are they going to play them? And where are they going to put them in the TV schedule? Because they won't. Yeah. Sky won't want them to clash with their championship games in England. They probably won't want them to clash too much with the English Women's League down there and Monday Night Football. So it's going to inconvenience the match-going fan, I think, for any more of these games to get shown. It's been poor all around. I mean, we've been continuously saying it. It's been poor. Why they didn't go out to tender. Neil Doncaster says, we had discussions, but that's not really putting out to tender. Anyone that's worked in that kind of tendering process knows that it's all kept private. No one speaks about it. But straight away, the Sky money, Sky are offering this. It's been poorly managed, but it's what we've come to kind of expect with the SFA or SPFL, should I say, sorry.
Yeah, thanks very much, John. That's much appreciated there. Supporting the podcast, no, superb. It's Carney, we kind of touched on it last pod or a couple of pods ago about it. It's not a great deal. It really isn't. It's why they can't wait and float it out there and see who's out there is beyond me. They've just, the first Sky who were with have just come in and went, we'll give you an extra extension, a couple of extra quid, and they've went, I will take it. Kind of shat the bed, to be honest. And these guys that run the Scottish League, we've said it for years, they're an absolute embarrassment. I mean, Whisky's Chops taking 400 grand, whatever it is, in his wage. I mean, it's embarrassing, Doncaster, but what's your thoughts on this deal?
First of all, John, thank you very much, mate, for your very kind donation for supporting the pod, mate. Really do appreciate that. And I saved a message just there. David Johnson said it's all about the Setanta fear. It is, though. That's the thing. It is all about this. This is what Doncaster is hanging his hat on. He knows that the clubs out with kind of Rangers, out with the Old Firm, maybe Hearts, possibly Hibs, Aberdeen, that kind of level. They know everybody else is just desperate for guaranteed money. So they won't go against this, even though they probably know, they probably sat and they've probably looked at it and thought, that's not very good. What we're doing here, it's not very good, but it's guaranteed money for them. And for some teams, it's the matter of life and death of their club. And I get that. Honestly, I completely understand that. However, my biggest frustration with all of this was, what was the rush in this? Why were we rushing to do this now? Why are we not waiting to see where things are going to be? Just look at the advancement of streaming services over the past, 4 years, 5 years, whatever else. Like, the perfect example for me is, what's his chops? What's the boxing guy? Eddie Hearn. He took literally Sky Boxing to DAZN. Like, literally, and the money is like astronomical. Do you know what I mean? Like, the money's absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, all of it just reeks of we will do what we want, and there's not very much that you can do about it. He's trying to justify his wage. He's trying to justify his bonus that he'll get, no doubt, for doing this, for securing the deal, part of his contract. He is Celtic's puppet. We all know he is Celtic's puppet. He was placed there by Celtic, so we all know this. That's not even me wearing a tinfoil hat. That is the truth. We all know that. So they're going along with it because they're trying to justify their decision to put him into the power. However, it does reek of Celtic thinking we can't be shown in public to side with Rangers on anything because it will send their fans into complete meltdown. So that they can't do it. They've kind of made a rod for their own back for that because they can't possibly be seen to in public to be in agreement with Rangers. There is no way any businessman that runs any of these clubs in Scotland have not looked at this deal and went, I don't understand why we are doing this right now, but we need the money, so we have to sign on the dotted line. The fiasco of moving around the voting just so they could outplace Rangers. I mean, it's like I don't even know how to.
Why have a voting system?
What is the point exactly? What is the point in having this voting system if you can go, oh no, that's not the correct result, so we'll just change that. Well, we'll just change that and say that's it's almost like falsifying votes. It's like you could make documentaries about this stuff. The deal's not good enough. The deal's nowhere near good enough for Scottish football. In comparison to other leagues in Europe, it's not even close. It's not even anywhere near where we should be, especially with both Rangers and Celtic being in the Champions League this year, with Rangers getting to the European final last year. There was just so much to go on, and we've rushed into this deal that's really tied us down. It's not good. It's not a good look for Scottish football. It kind of makes us look amateurish to the rest of the world. There must be some guys in Sweden that run the Swedish football looking at us and go, what are they doing? Do you have any idea how much money's out there for this? And we're just kind of letting it happen. The rest of the clubs are letting it happen, and it's a sad state of affairs. It really is. And even if Livingston had sided with us, they would have changed it, so it would have been a 9-2. It wouldn't have made a difference. They would have just changed it again. It wouldn't have mattered. They were going to get this deal through by hook or by crook, and unfortunately, it's been by crook. So no, it's a shambles. I've said it all along. Doncaster is not fit for purpose. They are selling this game short continuously, and the rest of the clubs in Scotland are just letting it happen. And as always, he can just come out and blame big bad Rangers. Even his statement that he said that we'd asked for a letter of apology and all that. God, away you go, man. That's just absolute nonsense. You're just making stuff up now. You really are. So no, it's a shambles. They should be removed. They won't be removed. We're signed into this deal now, and there's nothing you can do about it. Scottish football in a nutshell.
Pearson.
Yeah, couldn't say it about it, Scotia.
Got another thing that I forgot to mention. You'd kind of mentioned it there that the clubs can show 5 home league games that aren't picked for live TV to stream, but they're subject to conditions. I guarantee you those. I've not looked at the conditions, but I guarantee those conditions are for the UK TV blackout between whatever time it's 12 and 5 on a Saturday.
100%.
So those games will need to get moved if they're going to do it. Now that's another pod in itself. That why aren't we scrapping the TV blackout in this day and age? But yeah, that's not a great deal.
Yeah, but just the voting system. I mean, we've voted for stuff. Christ, the last couple of years there, we know at least, but and we've been the only club that's went against all the time, and we just need these other clubs are in their pocket. They'll side with that side, and it's just us. So unfortunately, there's not much we can do about it. We can make as much noise as we want, but I can't see anything going forward changing. But yeah, it's disappointing because you made a good point, Canny. We got to a European final last season. We've got 2 clubs in the Champions League group stages this year. We have Hearts in the group stages of the conference as well. doing not bad. They obviously they won in Europe, so everything's there for Scottish football. It's on a high at the moment in terms of if you were going to sell it to somebody, and yeah, sell ourselves short.
Yeah, no, as well, mate. We kind of criticise other clubs for maybe not doing enough in terms of helping the reputation of Scottish football in Europe. Exactly, coefficient, Scotia's favourite word, all that stuff. We do criticise that. And Hearts have done well, and we've got 3 teams in Europe, and that's genuinely with getting shouted at, it's amazing for Scottish football. Fantastic. This is what should be happening all the time. But for the rest of Scottish football, just to back down to this charlatan all the time, and you're just like, as soon as I even heard that we were against it and Livingston were against that, I immediately went, well, Livingston will change their mind because they'll get offered whatever, so they'll take it, and then that'll be it, and they'll change the vote, and Rangers will just be left there looking like the big bad Rangers as we've always been. And I don't think it is blue-tinted glasses. I generally don't. How anybody can try and put an argument forward for this being a good deal is just like, I don't know what the rest of Scottish football is doing. At one point, we're going to need to stand up to it and be like, not anymore. We're not doing this anymore. But as long as Celtic's got him in his pocket, mate, there's not a lot that the rest of Scottish football will do. It really needs both Celtic and Rangers to say, no, we're not going to do it anymore. But it doesn't look like that's ever going to happen, which is a real shame.
No, I know. Anyway, moving on. Let's get to more positive things. It is the Manscaped promo. So here we go. Time for a word from our sponsors, Manscaped. Our friends at Manscaped just bought the Ultra Smooth package to Europe. Everyone knows by now that the Lawnmower 4.0 is the best electric shave for your balls. But if you're looking for a closer shave or prefer to go completely bare down there, then the Ultra Smooth package is the perfect set. It's time to shave your bush of yours and get right to the roots by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with the code CLUB@22. The Ultra Smooth package is a specialised shaving kit to help you buff, protect and smooth your most sensitive areas. It includes crop shaver, that's not a crop shaver provider, crop exfoliator and crop gel. You nearly got me there. The Manscaped Ultra Smooth package.
I didn't put in that. I don't think.
Maybe it isn't. The Manscaped Ultra Smooth package is a three-step kit to make your package the perfect package. It's time to get up and close and personal with the best tools for the job. The Ultra Smooth package from Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code CLUB@22 at manscaped.com. Smooth out your fellows with the new Ultra Smooth package from the fellows at Manscaped. What will your balls do?
They will thank you.
Nah, it wasn't Carney. It didn't look right. It was the razor, but it didn't look right reading it.
I thought about it, mate. I thought I can't do it again.
No, I read it.
I was like, he'll read it again. He will read it again. He'll read it over that time.
It's the one bit. It's the one bit says crop shaver razor. It just doesn't sound right when you say it.
No, it doesn't sound right. No, you're right. No. You're right, mate. It doesn't. I didn't write it, mate. Obviously. And also, just so you know, we've done a quota for Manscaped promo this month, but I just wanted to hear you read that out. So thanks, mate. It's a free one for Manscaped. That one.
Christ. That is massive as well, that Manscaped promo. Slim it down a wee bit. So, aye, that's that out of the way. So I don't need to do that for a couple of weeks, which is good. But moving on, the Hearts preview. So we're going to bring some positivity here. First of all, starting with the presser today, injury update. Tom Lawrence, who there was rumours he may be available for tomorrow. We all thought he wasn't, to be honest. So Lawrence isn't available for tomorrow. He's out. And then we got the update, and the guys we've been kind of asking about. John Suter is out after the World Cup. Hollander is out after the World Cup. And Kamar Roof is just joining in training, and he needs to be assessed. So that's it. He's a while away, to be honest. I'll just start in the presser before we kind of get into Hearts. On the injuries, Scotia, it's he was asked about Suter, and he basically said we knew he was injured when we signed him, but we signed him anyway, and he's got the same injury, and we've had to operate on him. So it's a typical Rangers thing to do. That's what we do. But again, these guys, Suter, Hollander, Roof, they're out for ages.
Daniel Prodan, that's the name that's screaming out in my head when that get read. Although, to be fair and Suter, we didn't sign him when he was injured. He came to us when he was injured.
Well,
we obviously signed him in January. So, yeah, it's just typical Rangers. Centre halves in particular coming in injured and never playing. Who was it? Kuznetsov that came in and had one game and then that was him done.
Scored a goal against Celtic.
The season. Yeah, very early on in the season, and then that was him done.
Mr. Singh son's named after him, Scotia. Oh, like, oh, Jimmy, not again. Honestly, Jimmy.
Jimmy, man.
I tell you what, Carney, Jimmy has to get invited to the club at 22 Christmas night out. I don't know where you stay, Jimmy, but you need to come to the club at 22 Christmas night out.
Jimmy, honestly,
that's unbelievable, like, Jimmy. Honestly,
unreal, mate. Honestly, absolutely fantastic, man. Like, I've lost him. I don't know what else to say, man. Honestly, we need to name a podcast off him. I'll design a Jimmy. I'll design a Jimmy t-shirt.
Aye, I've got his Ryan's not. I've got
a picture of John Robottom on it.
I was about to say, I'm gutted Ryan's not here because he's Ryan's favourite guy because Ryan thought it was John Robottom at first. It was giving us 30 quid, but no, Jimmy, honestly, that's man. You don't need to do it every week because that's outstanding. No, fantastic, Jimmy. No, Scotia, continue.
Yeah, so John Suter, it's a bit of gutter because I sort of was looking forward to him coming into the team. He obviously he's only had that one game, and it wasn't a great game against Livingston, but he was clearly still carrying a wee bit of knock there. I know there was other stuff going on around about that time as well for him, but it's disappointing. And you've got all these centre backs, but they're not playing. Helander, I don't think he'll never be seen in a Rangers shirt again, which again is a shame because he's probably the best natural defender, probably one of the best defenders on his day, one of the best defenders in the whole of Scotland. But when's his day? He's never got a day because he's always on that injury table. It's frustrating. Hopefully this operation that Suter's had will sort him out, but this has been going on with Suter though in terms of injuries a good few seasons with Hearts as well. It's not as if this is just a new thing currently. We kind of knew that he was injury prone before we ever signed him, and it just continues.
Yeah, Carney, what's your thought on injuries? I mean, it's not very optimistic, to be honest, with these guys. And we all know deep down, to be honest, that's not a shock to us to do.
No, it isn't. I said it before we started recording. Negativity. You'll never see Philip Helander play for Rangers ever again. There is no time on him. I mean, what does that mean? Like in these days of sports science, what does he got no leg? If they're waiting for a new leg for him, there is no chance. I think Helander is done. John Suter, I think it's a shame. I do think it's a shame. Look, it is a very Rangers thing to do to sign an injured player. I do get that. We did know he was injury prone before we bought him, but I think this one's a bit of a slow one for him. I mean, it's all more hope than anything else that Gio's saying that hopefully this operation's got to the bottom of it. The operation that he's had, hopefully it has. You've got to hope for him and for the sake of his career, not just his Rangers career, his football career as a whole, that it has got to the bottom of it. But yeah, I kind of felt for John Suter when I heard that. Helander one, it just made me laugh because he just went, "Oh, there's no time limit." I'm like, what? What? Sorry, it's a bit of a strange one to say. I don't think I've ever heard that before from a football manager. When's Helander back? I honestly don't. I have no clue. I've not got a clue.
It was similar to when he was on about Kemar Roof the other week, and he went, he might be back sooner, it might be longer. It was like, well, he's either at the shops or he's on holiday. I can't remember one of the two. But no, Kemar Roof's positive. Obviously, I'm much more positive than I thought because you shared a picture the other night, mate. I was like, what is that? He's on one of the big moon boot things, but it's like the muscle therapy boot things that they get. So, I mean, good news, another option up front. That's not going to be a bad thing. Somebody's just said, what about Davies as well? Yeah, that like Davies is available. Squad. But when was he not? Like, did he disappear at one point? He's been on the bench, I think, at least the last 3 games.
Yeah, so he has been fit. Like, when he said Davies is fit and available, I was like, has he not been fit and available recently? A bit of a strange one, that. And spoiler alert, I don't expect to see him tomorrow. But I think Kamara's a positive one. It is a positive one. I'm gutted about Lawrence. Honestly, we are crying out for him, man.
Break the lines, he's your man.
Aye, we are crying out for him right now. We really are. But yeah, feel sorry for Suter. Probably goodbye, Hollander, and the rest is kind of positive about Roof, I suppose. Yeah.
I mean, he was also asked about Yilmaz, about how he's getting on, because we've obviously not seen Yilmaz, and he's basically said he's taking time to adapt to the lifestyle in Scotland. He's a young lad, to be honest. He's came to Glasgow. I can understand it to a point. Borna's playing really well. Oh, Justin, I knew you'd be in, honestly. You just, every time when Jimmy comes in, Justin's right behind him. All the way to America.
Yes, Justin.
Honestly.
Yes, of course, you can have a few pints with us, mate, and the pints are definitely on us, man.
I was going to say, Justin lives in, does he not live in Texas, so Justin?
Well, it's dollars, isn't it? That's dollars.
I was going to say. Oh, when he's back in Glasgow, definitely, Justin, come down to the Viceroy.
100%.
Have a couple of pints with us. Or
Thank
we'll
you
come
so
over,
much, mate.
Or we'll come over to America and have a couple of pints with you. That could be a weekend away. Club at 22 to America.
I'll let you ask my missus permission for that one, mate.
Scotia would never come back. He'd stay there.
Cheers, Justin.
Yeah, no, thanks very much, Justin. That's absolutely outstanding again. But no, moving on to the game. Hearts, I've been impressed with Hearts.
You're not talking about Yilmaz, no?
You can talk about Yilmaz if you want.
No, I just talking about...
No, I know. I just said no. I just said that Gio said he's. I said we're not really going to see him because Borna's playing that well. So understand why he's kind of been put to the side at the moment. Let him adjust to the Scottish lifestyle and also the football. So no, moving on to Hearts. Like I just said there, I've been quite impressed with Hearts since Hearts have come up from the Championship. I thought they've bought well. They're now becoming Hearts. I know Rangers and Celtic are going for the title all the time. Hearts are now kind of cementing that third position now because Aberdeen started all right and kind of faltered away. I think Hearts potentially this season again will canter that third spot. He's bought well. Technically, they're sitting third at the moment. Hearts obviously played 7, won 4, drawn 1, lost 2. If they beat us, they can go above us tomorrow. Last two results in Europe, they won away at RFS 2-0, which is a good result for them. Last game in the league was away at Motherwell, where they won 3-0. Notable players, obviously, Craig Gordon in goal, who's obviously he's a thorn, but he's a great goalkeeper. Craig Gordon, I'd probably say he's the best goalkeeper in the league at the moment. I'd put him up there. They've got the boy Devlin in the midfield. Rangers mad. They've just signed Shankland, who's firing the goals in. Barry Mackay, who we all know. They've also just signed Robert Snodgrass. He's come into the team as well. And Boyce is injured for them. So they'll fancy themselves tomorrow, Hearts. I think Robbie Nielsen did an interview, Carney, this week, and he basically says he expects Hearts to win all their home games. Which fair play to him. It's actually quite refreshing to hear a manager say that. And you know what it's like at Tynecastle. The fans are on top of you. It's a tight pitch. They'll come out the blocks tomorrow. I know the game at Hampden, they didn't do it when we thought they would, but you're in a big park. But they're at home tomorrow. They can go above us tomorrow. They will come at us tomorrow. And we need to be in our A game. What's your thought on Hearts and obviously the game tomorrow?
This is one of the games that not define your league. I don't mean it like that, but it's a good barometer to see where the team's at, to see what we are, where we're at in terms of levels. We can't start slow tomorrow. Because you're spot on, mate. Their crowd will be up for it. They'll have seen our, let's be honest, pretty poor display against Dundee United. They'll know that we're just before that, we were coming off a run of pretty poor results. I understand Europe as well, but they'll fancy their chances, man. Of course they will. I've got nothing against a manager coming out and saying we'll win all their home games. Generally, I've got nothing against that at all. I think why not back your team? I'm sure it will give the players a boost. That the manager that they believe in him. Do you know what I mean? And that they expect him to win his home game. So no, I'm not. I wasn't really I'm not really shocked at it. This is it's a pretty huge game for us. I think as a spectacle to watch, I'm expecting it to be pretty exciting. For the neutral, for me, it'll probably be horrific. I'm probably not going to enjoy myself from 12:30 onwards tomorrow. Well, until the game's finished, hopefully. But no, it's a one you kind of look out for. I think it's one of them kind of fixtures when you go to Tynecastle, and we've seen some cracking games. Honestly, what's happening here?
Ian Morgan and David Todd. Honestly,
yeah, I've just been distracted. Sorry, Ian. Thank you so much. That is absolutely tremendous. I cannot thank you enough for that, and David as well. Superb. Both members of the channel as well. Absolutely excellent. I can't thank you enough. That's superb. That is absolutely great. So yeah, Hearts tomorrow, mate. Easy, man. Easy.
Yeah, no, Scotia, Carney's right. We need to be up for it for minute 1 tomorrow. I was speaking to Stuart Work today, and I was saying, spoiler alert, I think we'll set up with 2 defensive midfielders tomorrow. And I don't know why we go to places like Tynecastle as if we're playing Barcelona. The other side of the city go to these teams and take it to them. I know they had a slip up at St Mirren, but usually they go to teams, go to Tynecastle's, Easter Roads, and take the game to them. To me, we should be dictating that game tomorrow and taking the game to Hearts tomorrow, not sitting off trying to sort of soak up the first 20 minutes. What's your thoughts of tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, taking into account what you say there, I agree with you in terms of them being like the 3rd best team in the country right now, and they have been ever since they've kind of come up from the Championship. Robbie Nielsen's got them playing pretty decently. They're obviously doing well in Europe at the moment so far.
I've got my blind down.
Yes, Scotty Muncher, you're right there, sitting in the dark. He likes that. He's that kind of guy.
The sun's gone behind the building, that's why.
Yeah, so I could do it as well, but I can't open my blind because the sun just shines through and blinds everyone. But yeah, no, Hearts, yeah, probably the 3rd best team, playing all right in terms of domestically. I think the big test for them, and not really seen it yet because they came back from that game against RFS and they ended up beating Motherwell 3-0 on the Sunday. I think the big test for them this season is how they get on in terms of playing on the Sunday after they've been in the Europa League. There we go. Some lights, everybody. So yeah, it'll be a tough game. I like how when you were mentioning the players out injured that you didn't go say that Benengame was injured again, seeing as the last time you tried to.
I'd like you to say his name, Scotia. I was just setting you up for that one.
Yeah, the last time, friends, he's out as well. I think Halkett is a bit touch and go as well, but they've got quality players in their team in any case. Will they be tough? If I'm being honest, I don't fear going to Tynecastle away as much as I would on Easter Road or
Scotia, I said the exact same comment today at work. I don't know what we've got about going to Easter Road all the time. It's a thing in our head, I think, but exact same as you I said today.
Yeah, at Tynecastle, I think good. And I think I know someone might have mentioned this in the comments earlier tonight, but I know Marth Vader had asked the question last week: would Gio get sacked if we get beat off the Hearts tomorrow? And my answer was no, and it was a one-word answer. But the reason why, unless we get if they go above us, it means that we've got scalped by more than 2 goals against them, and then the conversation's slightly different. If we get beat by 1 goal, then I wouldn't have said no. But I'm going into this tomorrow feeling pretty comfortable. I'm hoping that this international break has given Gio a chance to sit down with the players. And the good thing that we've got as well is that some of our senior players aren't going out on international duty. I'm looking at the likes of Goldson and Tav, Kent, you would class as a senior player these days, McGregor. These guys aren't going there. So it gives Gio that time on the training ground with these players that can then pass the message off onto the team. So I'm going into this with a fair deal of confidence, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. I mean, you looked to last season, and the first game at Tynecastle, I think we won it 2-0. We went 2-0 up quite early on in 20 minutes. Morelos and Aribo, a fantastic goal. And then obviously we sent the B team to the last one. I know Hearts were kind of in holiday mode before they played us in the Scottish Cup, and we won convincingly there as well, which was 3-1 or whatever it was. So, yeah, I mean, if you're going back and past performances against Hearts, yeah, we've won the past 2 away and 1 at Hampden in terms of the cup final. So, yeah, it's we should be confident, but the way Rangers have been playing recently, you just don't know what Rangers team are going to turn up tomorrow. You really don't. It'll be interesting to see the lineup tomorrow. So on lineups, Scotia, I'll stay with you. What's your lineup, your score, and your first goal scorer, if you do have one? For all I know, you've got a 0-0 draw there.
Yeah, no, I've got all three. I've got all three written down. And I don't know. This doesn't even. I don't know what this team is. I don't know if this is a team I expect Gio to play, a team that I want to play. It's a weird mashup between them both. But
yeah, I'm
based on his press interview, I think McLaughlin will come back into goals because he didn't mention anything about his injury. So McLaughlin in goals.
Think about that, right? Okay.
Tav, Goldson, and King, and Barisic in defence. Midfielder Lundstrom and Sands with Wright, Tillman, Kent, and I'm playing Alfie up top. Going 2-0 Rangers with Alfie to score first.
Okay. Carney, same for you.
I forgot about your player, genuinely, and I've just changed there. As Coach said that, I went, oh, aye, I forgot about him. I think we'll stick with McGregor, Tav, Goldson, Sands, Barisic, Strom, Jack, Tillman, Arfield, Morelos, and Kent is what I think his team will be. And I'm going 2-1 to Rangers. Alfredo Morelos to get a double.
I'm close to you, Carney, I think. Oh, Ray C, thank you very much for the donation.
Thank you, Ray. Absolutely fantastic.
Scotia, they must know it's your birthday coming up next week. Maybe this is what this is.
Indeed.
Able to get you a pint tomorrow. No, my team, I'm quite similar to you, Carney. I'm Shagger in goal, backline of Tav, Goldson. I'm going King at centre half, Barisic, Lundstrom. I think he'll play Jack beside him. Arfield just in front, and I think he'll play a front three of Tillman, Kent, and I think this is a game for Morelos tomorrow. I feel Big Cholak should be starting. He should be starting. He scored 2 goals the last game, and he scores pretty much every game he plays, but Morelos needs to play, and at Tynecastle, I think this could be the game for Morelos. So I'm playing. The back line's interesting because Hearts don't have a big target man. They had that big Ellis Sims, was it, Scotia last year? Yeah. He was a bit of a kind of target man. They don't have that up front. They've got Shanklin, so you can afford to. I know you're playing Sands there, Carney. I thought about that, and I think you can play Sands there tomorrow because they don't have that target man. If you know, Shanklin isn't really that kind of guy.
Sands will still get booked, but
no, he'll get booked. But what I'm saying is, there's no big guy that'll be winning balls over him tomorrow because Shanklin's not that type of player. So, yeah, I can see that. My prediction is, keeping the positivity, is 2-1 Rangers, and I'm going to have first goal scorer, and it's going to be a penalty to Rangers. So I'll noise everyone up. So, yes. Is there any final thoughts, lads, on tomorrow? Scotia?
Well, the reason I'm pushing Sands up into the midfield and bringing King in, and as some people have mentioned in the comments, is that Sands is going to be out suspended for the game at Anfield on Tuesday. Good time to bring him in. And I don't think Jack played, about 65 minutes on Wednesday night there.
I wasn't sure about him. So
I think Jack's probably going to have to play on Tuesday night as well. So that's why I was pushing Sands up a wee bit. But hopefully we will. Hopefully we'll all be right. Or no,
do you think?
No, because you're about 2-1. Hopefully I'll be right with 2-0.
Yeah. Do you think he might play Davies? And just what Scotia said there, that Sands, I've seen it in the comments as well, that Sands is banned on Tuesday. So might he play Davies?
To play him at Anfield on Tuesday as well?
At Anfield, yeah. He's got Premier League experience, hasn't he? So,
which came from Liverpool as well. So
you know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, if not, when are we going to see? How many times have I said that this season, man?
Yeah. And another thing I'd say was interesting is we've also had Morelos tomorrow, and Cholak scored 2 goals.
Yeah, I know. But look, it's horses for courses, isn't it? It's like it's what Morelos is. He's kind of what you need at a game at Tynecastle, I think, and that's no disrespect to So, like, the reason you have multiple options is so you can play the players that are going to be your strength against the team that you're playing. And I would be shocked if Morelos doesn't play on Tuesday night against Liverpool. I would be shocked because we're going to need something pretty spectacular in a small matter of a game against Liverpool at Anfield. So, and I just, look, it's hard to drop Cholak, it really is, because it probably doesn't deserve it, but you still have to, you've got to play the team that's in front of you, I suppose, and you've got to prepare properly for it and put out the team that you think is going to get the job done. And I just think for a game away at Hearts, Alfredo Morelos is probably a better option for that. And considering he's now had 2 weeks to get himself in shape, I'd imagine he's pretty raring to go. That was my reasoning for picking Morelos.
Yeah, no, I'm the exact same. No, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I mean, Rangers are back, obviously. Away at Hearts, obviously, we're neck and neck, and they're just behind us. But we can go top of the league tomorrow. So, I mean, that's a big motivation for me, for those Rangers players tomorrow. They can go top of the league. And
Sorry, Ali, carry on. Sorry, carry on.
Sorry, they can go top of the league in a season that it's not been a great season, but we have the chance to go top of the league tomorrow, just maybe for a couple of hours, but it puts pressure on them, and that's what we want. So, yeah, it's over to you tomorrow, Rangers, to finally kickstart our season. Was there something you wanted to finally say there, Garni?
Yeah, my phone was on silent. I have just noticed that Dundee Taylor, the man you'll know in the comments, has bought us 3 coffees. Again, legend, mate.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much. And somebody else, I've not got your name. All I've got is someone. Put your name on it, man. Put your name on it. And cheers, lads. Keep up the good work. Again, I'm not sure who this was. I'll try and get to it before I finish. But look, honestly, again, I know we say it all the time, but it's incredible that you've got supporters like this. It really is. And it's bloody good to be back. And we've got a busy old October coming up, and we will be with you every single step of the way. So, yes, it is good to be back.
Yeah, strap yourself in. It's going to be interesting all the way up to that, to the World Cup starts. So, yeah, that is us just about the hour mark. So I would like to thank my guest, first of all, Scott Carney. Thank you very much tonight.
Yeah, absolute pleasure, mate. As I just said, good to be back. Fox Bar Kid, you know who you are. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. Look, and it is good to be back. It's the thick of it now. I mean, October is crazy. Is it 9 games in 29 days, something like that?
Yeah.
Something 9 games, 29 days. So there's a lot of football coming up. A wee bit of pod housekeeping. I won't be here next Friday, and I don't think Ryan will be either. So you're going to be left in the capable hands
The B team.
Mr. Scott Gemmell and Mr. Alistair Pearson. I am away next weekend, so no, just next Friday. I don't get back until late on Friday for work. So my apologies that I won't be here, but I'm leaving you with these two. So give them hell, everybody, give them hell, chat. But no, appreciate it. Thank you, Ali. Thank you, Scotia. Thank you, chat, as always. And yeah, I hope your team win tomorrow.
Yep. And last but not least, Scotia, it's nearly your birthday. What age are you going to be? Is it 46 or something?
Oh, I don't know. I stopped counting once I turned 30.
You don't even know what your age is, Scotia. You always say to me you don't age, yeah?
I'm not entirely sure. No, actually, it's pretty poor, yes. No, but no, it's good to be back, like Carney says there. And yeah, what can go wrong next week when it's just the 2 of us on, Pearson? Oh dear. Probably should start preparing for that right about now.
I know. I wonder if we get a mystery guest on, Scotia. Carney would be upset if we get some randomer on this.
Yes.
No control of. That would be interesting.
God. Oh, honestly, yeah. Man, I've got the fear leading you to in Charles next week, man, honestly. In fact, no, have you not done one before?
You've done one before.
Because the man was getting born. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm sure we'll be fine with the rest of the folk in the comments will join in, so I'm sure we'll all be fine. But no, thanks to my guests. Thanks to everyone in the comments for joining in. Thanks to all the donations as well. Honestly, guys, you don't need to do that for us, but it's outstanding that you want to do that. We want to try and get to the next level, as Carney says all the time. We're smashed through the 3K subscribers. So, yeah, if you can like, share, tell your friends to like, share, subscribe. We have been Club at 22. We'll be back tomorrow with a match reaction.